Well, hi, Jira's I'm back with 60 books in isolation, and I've been doing this review quickly because the person this book should be going to is actually coming around today. My niece, Mackenzie. So, yes. So here we go. David Walliams' Slime, a fantastically funny tale illustrated by Tony Ross. Right. Free island inside, picture only. Okay. Here we go. Welcome to the island of Mulch. This little island is home to a large number of horrible grown-ups. The school, the local park, the toy shop, and even the island's ice cream van are all run by awful adults who like nothing more than making children miserable. And the island is owned by the most awful one of all, Aunt Greta Greed. Something needs to be done about them. Who can be brave enough? Meet Ned, an extraordinary boy with a special power. Slime power. Right. So, I liked this book. However, there's a few things I didn't like. Now this bit is the first bit is just kind of establishing the characters, okay, and then talk about slime. Now, slime is very much alive. It's a creature with powers to change or trans slime into anything and everything. But slime a force for good or evil. You must read on. Now, it's typical David Walliams books. He spends a lot of time kind of riffing on himself. The Williams Dictionary, okay, which everyone kind of knows is made up words he puts at the bottom. If I was to compare this to any book I've ever read before, I would compare it to George's Marvellous Medicine. As this boy Ned, just Ned. Now, Ned's interesting because he's disabled. He's in a wheelchair. It's never explained why. He just is. Well, no, explained that he was born that way, but it doesn't go into more detail. He was just born unable to walk, okay? His sister called Jemima, and Jemima was the typical nasty sister in the David Walliams story. She's horrible, she's nasty, she collects slime. She collects slimy things. She goes down, because they live in this island, she goes down okay, to the coast, shoreline, and she collects slimy things, okay? And Ned finds out that on his birthday, which is the next day, because they live in a very, very poor house, they can only really have like one bath a year. Oh, well, sorry, Jemima has one every day, but Ned can only have one a year, okay? Because reasons, because his parents are out to sea all the time, they're never very, very, really, really home, okay? Right, so finds out that she's going to put all this slime in his bath. Basically, put all the slime in the bath, put bubbles on it. So basically, Ned decides is going to trick her instead, put all the slime in the bath. And this bit here, this is when Ned goes into his sister's room, okay? He reached out and found it was a jar. The label in his sister's scrawled handwriting simply read bogies. On close inspection, he discovered it really was a jar bursting with bogies. They looked very much like Jemima's. She had licked and flicked so many at Ned over the years, they could recognise them in a line-up at any instant. Hers was always a brownish shade of green. And once Ned knew his big sister was up to something, and jars and jars and jars of slime. Okay? Okay. And then the boy peeked his mum and father's room. He peeked through the gap in the door. The bed was empty. It was the early hours of the morning, and a pair were already at work. No doubt Dad was heading out to sea, and Mum was setting up her market stall. A quick search by Ned at the back of their wardrobe reveals jars, jars, and more jars. Curiouser and curiouser. I was supposed to write it in because that's the reference to Alice in Wonderland. He muttered to himself. Then the boy rolled back into the hall, making his way into his dreaded sister's room. Okay, so, and pouring all this jars of slime into the bath to trick Jemima, basically brings out slime, the genie in the bottle, okay? Basically a walking, talking slime, okay? Like the Blob. Remember, ever seen the film The Blob? Like that, but obviously not bad to kill people and actually does good things, okay? Now, I also want to point out something as well about this book, which I did, it even says, okay? Because I mentioned the people who live on Mulch, okay? Raj does not live on Mulch. There's no Raj in this book. No Raj in this book. Oh, I love Raj. When it comes to David Walliams, when they film his books for TV, David Walliams is always in them, of course, but the only character I've ever got right is Raj. I remember watching The Boy in the Dress with my nephew, who's a big fan of that book. And we were just discussing the casting, like, why does this sound like he has a cold? Why did David Walliams cast himself as a headmaster? What about Stephen Fry? People would have done it. I reckon Stephen Fry would have nailed that. And then when we saw Rod, we're like, yeah, absolutely perfect. Okay, so, and this bit here, this is when slime first appears. Okay, Slime called out Ned. He could think what else to call it, and Slime seems appropriate. Are you all right? That's better, it said. I felt all over the place. Thank goodness, exclaimed Ned. Is Slime my name then? I can't think of a better one. Um, Roger, Archibald, Brenda of a slime. I do feel like a Brenda. Mused the boy. I think you look more like a slime. Okay, Slime gets his name. Okay, so Slime can trans slime. Okay, which basically Slime can turn into anything. Anything that Ned wants. Okay? Ned can grant which, And they basically, during the day, because it starts out in the very, very hours of the morning, they essentially go the entire day just kind of righting the wrongs of the people. They they go after everyone who's ever wronged them. The piano teacher, I'm going to this bit, okay? This is when because Ned's been expelled from the school, okay? Because of the um because he laughed, okay? But the lucky ones got whacked with a wooden ruler. The unlucky ones were whacked with a wooden ruler and then expelled. That's interesting because corporal punishment's mentioned, and also Ned had a pound to go to the ice cream van, and then they sold it and run off, which was a gift, and it was a pound note. So this book is definitely probably set. It's not actually set timeline when the book is set, but obviously it's set at no time period. Okay, maybe 60s, 70s when pounds were actually pound notes, £1 notes. Okay. Here you go. Raff's rule. Okay. Mulch school. Raff's rule. Okay. They compare me to an egg. And they're breaking wind on school premises. They're laughing at school. And excuses for late homework. They're moaning about school dinners. No way you're tired the wrong way round. And they're playing in the playground. They're chocolate out on school premises. They're seasoned during lessons. And they're complaining about how many rules there are. And the thing is, Ned was back. Now Ned was back. Mr. Raff's school to get his revenge. Okay? I mean, these are the kind of people who are just pure stereotypes and caricatures, okay? Like, there's the Edmund and Edmond, Envy, the twins who run a Envy's Emporium, who absolutely hate children. They run a toy shop, okay? Here you go. The pair hated children. They thought they only ran a toy shop so they could have children. They could hate children more. As for the children mold, it was the only toy shop on the island, so they had no choice. They wanted a toy, they had to go to Envy's Emporium. Why did Edmund and Edmond hate children so much? Because they envied them. The twins were bitter that they were old and ruined. Years and years of sniping and snacking and slumping at each other chilled their hearts. They hated each other as much as they hated children. Yeah. So the thing though is this, okay? Now I like the fact, okay, that Ned's in a wheelchair because you don't often get that in a lot of children's fiction, okay? Never explained. It's never really got into, okay? It just mentions it, okay, and talks about how he's like rolling to a place or pushing his wheelchair, but it then becomes a focal point. I absolutely love that. However, when you compare this book to the first one, The Boy in the Dress, okay, I liked it. Of course, I liked it. It's got the same kind of typical Walliams turn of phrase, but it just seemed a little bit rushed. A little bit rushed. Um, which probably sounds a bit weird because obviously, yeah, I actually read this in a night. But and also, I just think this whole kind of Ned with slime in one day, righting the wrongs. Even though his whole sister Jemima, even though it was her who collected the slime, she was catalyst for this. She doesn't come into it towards the end. I would like Jemima into it. Jemima's a horrible person. I think we needed that as a counterbalance. I definitely think we needed that as a counterbalance, and we didn't have that. Okay? Right. So, I like this book, but the idea, okay, of a child on this island righting wrongs, that could have been a lot more. And this being, okay, this is a Madame Sloth. See? All the names are so caricaturish, aren't they? You know, Mrs. Sloth, Raff. Yeah, the Seven Deadly Sins. Basically, it's, these are the names of all the bad people. Wrath, Lust, Envy, sloth, pride, glutton, greed. Right. Seven deadly sins. Okay? This bit here. Whether Ned reluctantly rolled himself over to Madame Sloth's house for the weekend's lesson, she would not utter a single word to him. Instead, she would look at him haughtily and open her hand to be paid. Once her palm had been crossed with silver, she would waddle over to her gramophone and put on a recording she had made of her giving a piano lesson. Was this in case any grown-ups were passing by her house and heard what she was up to, which was, of course, nothing. It's like, we don't really meet any adult in this book, okay, apart from the nasty ones, but the ones who do exist, what, are they just inept? They're allowing this to happen? They're allowing themselves to be ripped off? Yeah. And one thing though, because obviously Ned is a poor kid, okay? Well, not poor, he's just a nice house kid, but his parents work. Mum's got a market store, dad's at sea, okay? Is also not above, okay, making cutting remarks about the class system too, okay? This bit here. And this is after they got revenge on Sloth, okay? Is is when a private school, okay? Here you go. They were pushed boarding school on the island of Twaddle. I want to see the island of Twaddle. Take us to the island of Twaddle. The people must have been on a trip to see the world's most boring and tourist attraction. Much medieval thought it was a ruin, a little more like a few old stones jutting out of the ground. But it was so old, grown-ups decided that they had to go and look at it, often for hours at a time. What happened? Ned called out from above. It was those rotten ice cream sellers. They could mammoth order of ice cream from our whole stall and made off with the pocket money. The pair were so rude, they shouted, "So long, suckers," and they sped off in a dirty old van. We thought having ice cream would help us get over the crushing disappointment of having visited the world's dullest tourist attraction, but we were wrong. It's made the school trip the worst day of our ever, yelled a fifth. These kids are really annoying, Mother Slime, as all the Twaddle children burst into tears. Okay? Yeah, slimes can be a bit sarcastic. So, but the thing is, okay, that's the thing. I said because due to the currency used, it's set in the past. However, when Ned gets hold of some ice cream for his kids, they're talking about, okay, they're lactose intolerant, they're vegan, yada yada, whatever. So it's a story basically of a boy and a slime basically ridden the island, okay, the seven deadly sins. And what do I think? Well, actually I liked it. Obviously, this is for my niece, okay, my niece Mackenzie, who's going to come over today, okay, social distancing still, okay. So this is for Mackenzie, and I think she's going to love this book. She's actually going to love this book. But compared to his first books, The Boy in the Dress, Mr. Sneak, Billionaire Boy, Gangster Granny, Rat Burger, Dim and Dentist, Awful Auntie, okay, The Beast of Buckingham Palace. I just think that his early work was a lot stronger. I'd say that he's closer to his success, but The Boy in the Dress had a very, very strong narrative and a moral lesson. I'm just going back to that because I think it's actually the best book. I would have liked a bit more. I wanted more Jemima. This book, I've read this in one night, not because, but kids are going to keep them entertained, okay? And I've got to admit, A Boy in a Slime Against the Seven Deadly Sins. I've got to admit that I appreciate the originality in that, okay? So David Walliams, congratulations on your success, okay? I'm signing off here. Bye now.